Hi all. Hi.
Start us off.
Hi Frank.
Hi.
A real scrap out there tonight. What was your assessment of your side's performance?
Yeah, it's always going to be a scrap here, isn't it? High pressure team, high pressure stadium. You know, one of the great stadiums to come and play at because of the tradition and the energy of it. And that transferred onto the pitch. So we have to stand up. If a team are going to play high pressure against us, we have to do the same. So I enjoyed that element of it.
Another big goal for Anthony Gordon. You see the type of lad that thrives on being in the spotlight, and how confident are you of your player when we go?
I'm very confident. Very confident. And you saw the reasons why in the last two games, because he's our player. He's come through. He's a very good player. He's going to get better and better, and adding goals to his game is the first step of that, and that's the hardest step. So really pleased with his performance and his attitude. He'd have learnt a lot and grown a lot in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that's only good for him. And he's a special player for me, so delighted with what he's doing. And again, got to keep on that same track and got to keep getting in those positions, keep showing that composure, keep working in training. But he does all those things, so it's great.
Yeah, nobody on Maupay tonight wasn't registered inside. Just get your views on that. How frustrated are you with that? And are you still hopeful of getting another striker in before?
Well, listen, it is what it is with Neal. It's just interesting that we signed him on Friday afternoon, and because of bank holiday weekend, he's not allowed to play this evening on Tuesday night. It seems a long time. He's out player for 4 days, and I wasn't aware of it until late. So we prepared the game with Neal in mind. And then that changed, so I didn't have that option of Neal to start or Neal off the bench. And you know, we know we need extra, or wanted extra attacking options. So it's just the way it went.
Will you get another striker in before the window closes?
We'll see. We're not desperate. I think we've worked hard in this window in a good manner. It's not been an easy window because of the length of it. That's made it hard for a lot of people, but particularly us, when we know we need to adjust the squad, balance the squad, not rebuild the squad, but importantly add in the right way. And that's not been easy because it's run into the season. It's given us a difficult start in a sense of we're playing without a striker most games at the minute, and you know, it's probably held us back for a few points that we probably deserved, if I'm honest, because the performances have been great. So we'll work and see what we can do in the next 2 days.
And the Gueye, is that feel likely to happen? Is that close?
It's getting closer, so we're hopeful that will happen. Thanks.
Dom?
Frank, sorry, how late did you find out?
Yesterday morning. Yeah, I think probably it's not me. It's not for me. I'm not sitting and telling the Premier League what to do, because I'll probably get told off for saying that. But the reality is, if you sign a player on a Friday, and who gets bank holidays anymore? I don't. Do you know what I mean? I think the reality is, you kind of look at it and go, it's the Premier League. It's the best brand. It's the best league in the world. We signed a player for 4 days, and it was whether it's a quirk of the rules that will probably change now. Maybe it will change, I guess, because he's been our player for 4 days, and we weren't aware. I wasn't aware, so I planned to play him, if I'm honest. But that changed.
Just ask about Anthony. You spoke to you on Friday. You said you had a deadline in mind.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's Anthony's too important a player. I think he showed his worth in the last 2 games. We've got 2 days now to go. So what good would it do us to do anything with Anthony? You know, and on a bigger picture than that, he's our player who we've developed, and there's an affiliation with him and the fans, and vice versa. And we're trying to do something here, and we know it's a process, and it will take some time. I think he's very clear that from where we were last year, where we want to get to is a process. So can we trust in that? Can we build around the good players that we have, and can we add to that? That's where I'm coming from. And Anthony, clearly, because of the interest that's been in him, is because he's a top player, and that's why we're so keen to keep him.
Henry?
Yeah. For me, I think Henry. I think he's one of those where he played in a back 3 or back 5 for so long, and was so dominant in it, in his style. He was so integral to it. I know he's played in a back 4 for England. I know his attributes and how he plays and how he reads the game and how good he is on the ball and how he sees everything in front of him. I played with John Terry, was fantastic at that. One of the best we've seen in analysing the game and being in the right position. And so I see Absolutely no problems with it for him and James, who's obviously played in it a lot as well. So it's great for us. But also when you're constructing the team, you have to go, well, what's in front of them to protect them? And then you look at Onana today, and you look at what Alex Iwobi's given us, and Tom Davies coming in, and so now because we've been able to add personnel-wise, now we can construct. Okay, can we be versatile? Can we play with an extra body in midfield because of what Leeds can do to you in midfield? And I think Connor showed it individually, and I think the team showed it with the discipline, particularly defensively tonight. Can we be better on the ball? For sure. That's the next steps for us. Yeah, well, you can be. I mean, I think it depends on the way you play these things. If you can play with wing backs and get them extremely hard up the pitch, if you have those type of players, then you can. If I'm honest, we stayed in the league playing a back five because it allowed us to have extra numbers at the back and to dig in and find a way to be really hard to be beaten. But if you want to move forward and progress, you want maybe a bit of versatility in your game, because I think that can help against opposition. You look at some of the real good coaches now in the Premier League. Some teams have this real identity and way of playing, and I think a lot of those tend to be ones that have bought and recruited really well in positions for a while that allows them to do that. When you come into a job as a manager, sometimes you have to compromise because of the players you've got and how you see it and how you see the balance of the team. And now hopefully, I just touched on it, you can bring in players like Onana, who's huge energy and presence in midfield, and the development of Alex has been amazing. So now we can say, okay, can we play in different ways? Hopefully with the players we're bringing in, yeah. Jack Harrison is one of the best wingers in the Premier League. There's no doubt in my mind. I played with Jack, and his development is amazing. And I wouldn't fancy playing against him. I thought Patterson was superb, because not only did he protect in the four and be nice and compact when he had to get out and go 1v1 with Jack, he absolutely more than held his own, and then he ends up with the best chance of the game because he's arriving in the box. So I think Pats has quietly, maybe to the outside, got into the team this year, but people who are around us and see how his development has been, now he's playing, he's doing really, really well. So he needs to keep on that track, because he's still a young player. But I thought he was fantastic today, and aided by Dwight McNeil, who came back and doubled up and helped him a lot. We needed to do that work tonight because of the way Leeds played, and they did it. Well, the players on the pitch are in a game. When it's a high intensity game, sometimes your view is to bring someone in cold can be difficult, unless you see someone really flailing and struggling in the game. And yeah, there's a reality that when we look at our squad, sometimes we've got some injuries. Forget that we've got three centre backs with pretty long term injuries. To be fair, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a number 9 who's injured for us. Neal Maupay can't play the game. So there are parts of the squad there that we know we've got a few issues. Decore's out. But at the same time, with the bench, we've got some young players on there. Do you want to bring them on in a game of this intensity? Maybe not. So we know it's an area where we're trying to balance the squad and make it stronger. But more than anything, I think it was respect to the players that were in the game, doing their jobs consistently. And I wanted to see that through. No, it's something that's always been in my mind, and an issue I had probably in pre-season was we went to 4 Minnesota and got beaten 4-0, but there's a different phase of, it's pre-season, the lads are working hard, we've added since then, the profile of the squad has changed. It wasn't necessarily because of the injury to Mason at the weekend. I spend a lot of time with the staff, and I sit with Joe and Clem and Ash and Chris, and we talk a lot, and that always has to be something that we look at when you look at opposition. And Leeds clearly have a lot of energy in midfield. If we'd have played how we've been playing with 2, it would have been a lot of work. And I think we wanted to get some more pressure up the pitch and more threats in terms of runners up the pitch. We played that way sometimes last season. I was delighted with the way the players took on the information, because particularly the back four, Patterson's a great example. When you're a wing back for quite a period of games, you're always used to opening out and you're used to being able to defend wide areas. Now you've got to do a lot more work defensively, and your instincts have to be different. And I thought the lads got that really good tonight.
You mentioned a lot in the build-up to the season about being more robust and leaders at the back. I suppose seeing James Tarkowski and Connor Cody's pleased the way they've slotted in and can help the team.
Really pleased because their personalities are huge. They've affected the dressing room in a brilliant way. I love that. You know, they're throwback professionals that do their jobs, train with a great attitude, and set the standards, and they're playing well. You know, I know we haven't won yet. There's different reasons for that. Things maybe haven't gone our way in terms of a few points, but in terms of defensively, it's a game we could lose last season for sure, for different reasons. Not just those two in that position, but for mentality and spirit. And when that game turns and they score, where do we go from there? And straight away, I think players like that absolutely help you through the spine of the team. So it was great. It's great to see them performing at that level.
Okay, guys.
Thanks very much, Al.
Cheers.
Thank you.